Hey everybody, welcome to the GMG review. Today we're taking a look at Shadow and Iron from the Titanicus, the latest supplement that brings the Nemesis Warbringer Titan to the 8mm scale. 8mm? Yeah, I think it is 8, 10, something millimeters. Little baby Titans. It also advances the storyline of the Crusade a little bit. Talking about where we're at. I'm just gonna flatten the pages to freak you all out. And yeah, and add some new maniples. We get Psi Titans of the Ordo Sinister, and some new Night House rules as well, which is basically just 3 new Princeps traits that you can have for each one. So it's pretty cool. You get the background of what's going on. The Betrayal at Ithaca, the Cancel of the Princeps, the Shadow Crusade, the Midnight Realm, Ambush on Espador and Dark Waters, and then Burning Sands, Cold Vengeance. What's been going on basically, you know, after Calth and the big betrayals and the legions that get mustered to go do that. And then rules for the Crusade of Iron Legions. We have the Legio Praesidius, the True Messengers, the Legio Oberon, Deathbolts 2, twice the Deathbolts 1 were. Legio Lysander, the Sentinels of the Edge, Legio Infernus, the Fire Masters, Legio Mordaxis, the Death Dealers, and Legio Audax, the Ember Wolves. So some pretty cool stuff in there. Then some new maniples, the Canis Light Maniple, the Arvis Battle Line Maniple, the Ruptura Battle Line Maniple, and the Mandatum Battle Line Maniple. That all basically feature I think one doesn't feature the Nemesis Warbringer. So new things to include him without having to just take him as a support Titan. Because obviously one of the things about the structure of Titanicus that's a bit of a struggle is you've got these preset maniples that if you introduce new Titans, they're either stuck as support Titans and can't benefit from your maniple rules, or you have to introduce these new ones as you go. So 4 is nice, and 3 of them include him. And then the Ordo Sinister, using Psi Titans and the Warlord Sinister. So TLDR there was 24 Titans ordered by the Emperor when he started screwing around with sticking psychers inside of Titans. And 20 of them end up appearing on the battlefield. 4 probably didn't work out, one would assume. But they're pretty cool. They take a bunch of like a dozen or so alpha level psychers, replace all the Titans crew with those, and then have the Princeps be an untouchable, a pariah, so that they don't get just overwhelmed by all the psychers. It's kind of cool. And then they get new rules. They don't ever take normal Titan orders. They take psychic orders instead, which is a kind of cool gimmick for incorporating them into the game. Our Night Houses, we got House Orlac, the Vornerher, the Vironi, Mordred, Malanax, and Aerthen. Some new missions for the Crusade of Iron. You get 5 missions. And new, and oh my god, thank you, updated set of campaign rules. Finally! With this book, the game basically gets back to where the original core game was, where there's some sweet campaign rules for having slick crews, Titan skills, and a variety of new add-ons that aren't just get more rerolls. I was not excited that there wasn't campaign rules in the core rules, and so I'm happy to see them here. And then some penances for like the battlefields, stratagems, and new weapons, because they all appear. The Ursus Claws is finally here, and there's a card you can photocopy for it, but it should be available probably in an upgrade pack at some point. So the Iron Crusade, it's the story of revenge writ large across the 500 worlds of Ultramar amidst the brutality and horror of the Shadow Crusade, whereupon the world leaders and word-bearer Space Marine legions sought to bring about a dark awakening within the warp. Traitor and loyalist legions did the battle. These engines of war had their origin in the betrayal of Calth and the horrors of Ithaca. When the warp opened and consumed these loyalist Titans set to defend Calth, it revealed the true extent of the War Master's heresy. In the span of a single day, the greater sum of Legio Praesidius was destroyed, along with millions of the Imperium soldiers and thousands of loyal Space Marines. And so in the wake of the atrocity, the surviving Princeps of Legio Praesidius gathered their allies and launched an engine war across the 500 worlds to bring the betrayers to account. So it's basically the survivors of Praesidius getting all the allies they can find, both loyal and traitor, and march them across the 500 worlds to try and take the Word of Horus. And this is just the background of how that goes. And that sets the scene. So here's your Ultramar Sectorum and all the different worlds. So there's Moloch, you know, the Doom of Moloch. What else is important here? Yeah, Plague Cordon enforced. The Zersinia Wastes Prohibited Zone. Plague Cordon enforced. Something bad's happening there. Thalassa Prime, Parmenio. Macrag's right here. Saramanth is right here. Calth, where the betrayal happens, is right there. in all the various battle zones that take the war going forward, and then all the key as well. So there's a Xenos infestation classification we don't know, whatever that thing is. Something weird. And there's orcs kicking around. Crave in Xenos infestation classification Krave, K-H-R-A-V-E. Something weird. The 500 Worlds of Ultramar, because they're all pretty cool. And then the Titan Legions of the Crusade of Irons. Here's got some new rules. So the True Messengers. Their Legion trait is Pinpoint Accuracy. A Legio Praesidius player may reroll the location die for attacks made by Legio Praesidius Titans when using weapons long range. So you can't do it short range, and must accept the second roll. They may not reroll the location dice if the attack was made with the blast weapon that subsequently missed. Fluid Command Structure is another Legio trait. If the Princeps Senioris Legio Praesidius maniple is destroyed, the player may choose another Titan from that maniple and designate them the new Princeps Senioris. The new Princeps Senioris follows all the rules for the old one, has no personal trait. Only a Princeps Senioris chosen during the battle group selection counts for the purpose of determining victory points. So you get a new one for the purpose of like your maniple rules and stuff, but you don't get a trait for them, and they're still dead for the purpose of victory points. Legio trait Against the Impossible. So this is nothing you have to pay for. You just get all three of these. Once per battle, when a Legio Praesidius Titan takes critical damage from a weapon attack, after the weapon attack has been resolved, it may immediately undergo an emergency repair, as if it had been issued emergency repair orders. This cannot be used if the Titan suffered catastrophic damage. So if you're gonna die, you don't get to do it. But if you just got to critical, and then you get to make a repair roll immediately. And then the Legio specific stratagem, Precision Volley. It's two stratagem points for this. This player's stratagem can be purchased by any Legio Praesidius player. Play at the start of the strategy phase before any orders are issued. Until the start of the next round, add 1 to the hit rolls for all attacks made by Titans using long-range weapons. Hey! Hey! That's pretty great. So just for 2, get +1 hit, basically for the first round of the game. And then your Princeps traits. A Noble Legacy. If your battle group does not have a tertiary objective, it gains the Eternal Bastion tertiary objective. A battle group with this objective earns 5 VPs at the end of the game if their Princeps Senioris Titan was not destroyed or structurally compromised. You get 5 VPs if you keep your Titan? No. Like, this is a game where, like, you get so many VPs. 5 is not a lot. Natural Commander of the Princeps Titan rolls a 9 or 10 for a command check made with issuing orders. They may issue the same order to any or all Titans in their maniple without the need of a command check. So just Natural Commander. I did it good. Everybody else do it if you want. That's pretty cool. And then Crusader, once per round when moving in the combat phase as part of a full stride order, the Princeps Titan may fire one of its weapons after they finish moving with a -2 to hit. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's really cool. Especially if you manage to like, and fire one of your weapons. So you could use a melee weapon, so you could full stride into somebody and hit them with a power fist at -2, but then you probably have a +2 because you're using something like a chamber. I don't know. There's a possibility of a janky thing there, which is pretty cool. And then some Praesidius Warlord Battle Titan paint schemes. They're pretty ultramarine looking. No wonder they live in the 500 worlds. All right, so the Legio Oberon, Death Bolts 2, twice the minute Death Bolts 1 was. They are efficient planners. When issuing orders to a friendly Legio Oberon Titan, add 1 to the result of the command check. For each Legio Oberon Titan that's already been successfully issued the same order during this round to a maximum +3. So if you want to do the same thing, that's pretty cool. It has to be the same order though. So if you all do the same thing, you're going to get pluses and pluses and pluses. Armored Phalanx. Subtract 1 from the result of any armor roll made against Legio Oberon Titan within 2 inches of 1 or more friendly Titans. So, 1 or more friendly Titans. So when you're all shoulder to shoulder, you're -1 armor rolls. That could be neat. And you only get those 2 special rolls, but you do get 2 different stratagems. So the first one is Decisive Action for 2. This stratagem can be purchased by any Legio Oberon player. Play it at the start of any strategy phase. If played during the first round until the end of the phase, Titans may be issued the full stride or first fire order without needing a command check. If played during any round after the first until the end of the phase, it may be issued with full stride or split fires without needing a command check. All Legio Oberon Titans issued orders via the stratagem must be issued the same order. So if you want to just charge up the field, you just do it without having to make a command check. Or if you want to charge up and split fire. That's pretty cool. Or if you want to just first fire in the first round too. Strategizer for 3 can be purchased by any Legio Oberon player. Play the stratagem when an opponent plays a stratagem that costs 2 or fewer. Before resolving its effects, you discard it. So you can cancel somebody else's stratagem. You can cancel blind grenades or sorry, Blind Barrage. You can cancel, oh geez. You cancel, I think you can cancel Melta Bombs, or Melta Mines. You can cancel Sabotage. That's huge. Yeah, that's enormous. That's a really cool ace in the hole to just be like, no, and just shut it down. If you canceled an artillery bombardment, you'd cancel it for the entire game. It would just go away. It would just be stopped because you would just have like planned it out basically. So that's pretty powerful. Personal traits, Unwavering. Once per game, if you fail command check, you can choose to just pass instead. It's like, nah, I'm good. Peerless Commander, friendly Knight Banners with at least one model within 6 of the Princeps automatically pass command checks when taking to see if they're shaken or recovering from being shaken. So just don't break when you're nearby. And Tactical Genius, before forces are deployed, when choosing stratagems, the Legio player gains +1 stratagem point if one or more Princeps with this personal trait is present in the force. So you just get an extra stratagem point. So you could play Strategizer and then something else in an average game. And the Oberons are so cool because they're all like tiger stripey. I love them. I love this. This is a really cool paint scheme. The Legio Lysanda, the Sentinels of the Edge. That's, I don't know. It's, the newer names aren't as cool as the old names. Like Warp Runners, Death Heads, you know, like Fire Wasps. I like the old names better. I don't know why. Tiger Eyes. The Sentinels of the Edge just sounds like a bad emo band from the early 2000s. So Legio Lysanda, the Patience Beyond Measures, their first trait. Before any units are deployed, a force that contains at least one Sentinel of the Edge mana pool may choose to deploy all the units at the start of at once at the start of deployment before they deploy any unit, before their opponent deploys any units. If they do so, the Sentinel of the Edge player does not roll to see first player. They just automatically get to go first. If they do so, all Legio Lysanda Titans add +1. The result of any hit rolls and command checks made during the first round. Patience Beyond Measure has no effect in narrative missions unless otherwise stated. So you always get to go first, and you get +1 hit rolls and command checks. But you have to deploy your whole army before your opponent does. So that's pretty cool. And the whole idea is that you just sit in silent contemplation for 7 days because you have to get inner peace. Stillness of Mind, add 2 to the result of when rolling to see if a shutdowner is removed from a Legio Lysanda Titans. They're bonuses against being shut down, which is cool because there's some janky shock stuff in here. Legio specific stratagem, Frontier Guard for 2. Play stratagem this stratagem can be purchased by any Legio Lysanda player. Play during the strategy phase of any round until the end of the round. The BS and weapon skill of any Legio Lysanda Titan that's within 6 of objective is increased by 1 to a maximum of 2+. So when you go down to the objectives, you get crazy bonuses to your stats because you're there to defend things. Then you get Legio-specific war gear, the Mantle of Responsibility. Any Legio Lysanda Titan can be upgraded, have it for 15 points. A Titan with this upgrade may reroll results of 1 and 2 in making command checks. That is so worth it. That is so worth it. Because when you fail, typically with like a Warlord Titan, it's on a 1 or a 2. And 1s and 2s, I think like a 4+ for a lot of things. You know, you're really reducing the possibility of you failing. And then your traits. Harrowed by Betrayal. If the Machine Spirit for Legio Lysanda Titan awakens, the Titan may apply the Wrathful result instead of rolling to see what you get. So you can just automatically go Wrathful because you're just so freaked out by being betrayed by the baddies. And that could be really cool because you could shoot a lot by pushing yourself. So if you're pushing your Titans a whole bunch and you're awakening the Machine Spirit, you can just choose to get Wrathful. That's really cool. Yep, you just awaken. Now you're still gonna have to make you'll still make your test, basically your command check. So, and you can't choose to fail it. Serene, you never suffer penalties to the command checks and may ignore effects that force them to reroll successful command checks. And then Vanguard Leader, any friendly Legio Lysanda Titan that begins its movement within 3 of the Princeps Titan can declare power to locomotors without pushing its reactor. This includes the Princeps Titan. So he does not push his reactor to go full stride or to go fast. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a really cool ability, actually, because it will keep you cool. Especially for a Warlord. A Warlord just being able to walk 6 all the time. And then anyone within 3 can do it too. Whew. Super sweet. The Legio Infernus, the Fire Masters. See, that's a cool old school name. I think that actually is still an old school name. I don't think they made that one up recently. That's a classic. That's a cult classic of names. And yeah, they're betrayers, obviously. They are the Masters of Flame. When making an attack with a Firestorm weapon, a Legio Infernus Titan may place the narrowest end of the template within 2 of the firing weapon instead of just touching it. So you get a longer range gun, basically by 2 inches. So it's 10 inches roughly instead of 8. Both the narrow end and the center of the wide end must be within the weapon's firing arc. Burned ones for stratagem for 1. This stratagem can be purchased by any Legio Infernus player. Reveal it in the combat in any combat phase. Choose any piece of blocking terrain within 12 of a friendly Legio Infernus Titan and remove it, replacing it with a difficult terrain the same size. So you just basically just go poof and just destroy buildings. Because you burn it to the ground. Clinging Phosphex. Any Legio Infernus Titan that's equipped with Inferno Gun can take Clinging Phosphex for 20. When firing the Inferno Gun, instead of targets other than the one close to the firing unit, take 2 hits instead of 1. Ooh, that's pretty great. So you instead of just doing double hits to the basic guy, you do double hits to everybody. And then Dark Blessing. Any Legio Infernus Titan can take Dark Blessings for 5 points once per round. A Titan with this upgrade can reroll a single die. However, a Titan with this upgrade suffers -1 any command checks they made when issuing orders. I don't know. I think that's totally worth it. Rerolling a single die every round for 5 points, but you're -1 to command checks when getting orders. Pfft, do it. And then your special traits, you get Butcher. When this Princeps Titan activated during the strategy phase, they can work themselves into a frenzy. If they do so, they can reroll all hit rolls of 1 until the end of the round. And it counts their activation for the phase, however. That's pretty cool. World Burner, once per round. During the combat phase, the Princeps Titan may fire one of their Inferno Guns or Melta cannons twice during their activation. If they do so, the weapon counts as draining for the second attack. Hey! I'll double shoot my Melta Cannon, thank you. I will take nothing but Melta Cannon Reavers then, if that's the case. And then Methodical once per game during the strategy phase. When the Princeps Titan is successfully issued a first fire order, any other Titan in a mana pool can be issued the same order without the need for command check. Pretty cool. And then there's your Legio Infernus, of course, covered in fire, because why would you not be covered in fire, you glowy, fiery monsters? And then Legio Mordaxus, the Death Dealers, of course, also baddies, and they use poison, they're stinky boys. They use Technotoxin as their Legio trait. During the end phase, any unit, friend or foe within 2 of a Mordax Titan suffers D3 strength 4 hits. Unit can only be affected by this rule once per round. Mordax Titans are not affected by this rule, so they give off Technotoxins that melt little guys. That's a pretty cool way of like shedding knights. In Year to Pain, they do not have their speed when they suffer a hit from a quake weapon, and that is not deflected by their shields, nor do they pivot when they suffer a hit from a concussive weapon that's not deflected by their shields. However, they cannot declare powder locomotors or powder stabilizers, so they never get to do extra turns or move fast. Whew. But they don't ever slow down, and I don't know if that's worth it. I don't know if that's worth it. You never get concussed. You never get to be slowed down by Quake, but you don't get to power locomotors or powder stabilizers. Rough for Warlord Titans. Really rough, moving 4 inches per turn and only getting 1 turn. Rough. Toxin nodes, your specific war gear. Any Legio Mordaxus Titans armed with Blast 3 weapons may take Toxin nodes for 20 points, decrease the strength value of the weapons by 1, and replace the Blast 3 trait with a Blast 5 trait. Blast 5 is pretty cool. Toxin nodes. I mean, what else is Blast 3? I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't know. They get big blast though, which is pretty cool. I guess your Melta Cannons could do that. Any Legio Mordaxus Titan armed with a Blast 3 weapon may take Toxin nodes for 20 points. So you'd have a Strength 9 Melta. No, Strength. I think it's 10. Strength 10. Yeah, Strength 10 goes to Strength 9, but you Blast 5 instead. That's pretty cool. And then you're Unstoppable for 3. Play stratagem when you purchase this stratagem can be purchased by any Legio Mordaxus player. Play at the start of the damage control phase before any repair rolls are made. Until the end of the turn, add 2 to the Servitor Clades for every Legio Mordaxus Titan. Wow. That's a way to get a comeback going. Personal traits, Dulled Mind. The Princeps ignores the MIU feedback and Princeps wounded damage table. That's pretty rad for big guys. Harbinger of Decay. Units within 2 inches suffer D3 plus 1 strength 5 hits from toxic traits instead of D3 strength 4. And then Proud Protector. Once per round, when a friendly Legio Mordaxus Titans within 3 of the Princeps suffers a direct hit, devastating or critical hit, they can immediately push their reaction to make an attack with one of their weapons. So if you shoot their little friends, then they start shooting back. The big guys start shooting back. And the Legio Audax, the Ember Wolves. And they only use Scout Class Titans, which is kind of neat. So they are Wolves Among Prey. A Legio Onyx mana pool can only consist of Titans of scale 6 or lower. Any mana pool which is mandatory or optional components containing Titans of scale 6 or higher cannot contain Legio Onyx Titans. So you're out of basically all the big guy Titan mana pools. Any reinforcement Titans declared as Legio Onyx must be scale 6 or lower. Legio Onyx Titans can always form squadrons with other Legio Onyx Titans, even Titans that belong to another Legio Onyx mana pool or Legio Onyx reinforcement Titans. Legio Onyx squadrons contain up to 5 Titans unless they can normally contain more. You can stalk unseen for the duration of the first round. Attacks made against Legio Onyx Titans of scale 6 or lower suffer a -2 modifier to hit rolls if the Titan's at least 25% obscured rather than -1. So you're -2 to hit when you're in cover. And then reinforced plating. Legio Onyx Titans of scale 6 or lower can be fitted with reinforced plating for 15 points. Subtract 1 from the result of armor rolls made against them with reinforced plating. That's amazing. That's basically +1 to all your armor locations for all your Warhounds for 15 points. And then Legio specific wargear, the Ursus Claw. An Ursus Claw fitted to a Legio Onyx Titan has a strength value of 4 instead of 3. Rules for Ursus Claws can be found on page 93. So not everybody gets the Ursus Claw, but these guys specifically do. Everybody gets a version of it though, which is like a Shock Claw. Yeah. I'm sorry, everybody does get Ursus Claws. There's a strength 4 instead of strength 3. Personal traits, Masters of Ambush. A Stalk Unseen Legio trait applies in the second battle round, not just the first, to the Princeps Titan. Call of the Week. The Princeps can reroll failed armor rolls against a location that suffered critical damage. And then Pack Alpha. Friendly Legio Onyx Titans within 3 inches of the Princeps Titan may reroll 1s when making command checks. Pretty cool. And there's some more. I'm going to see there's the Ursus Claw. Fire the Ursus Claw! It's a World Eater's gag. And of course, they get their own mana pool, the Canis Light Mana Pool. It consists of nothing but Warhound Titans. Let's talk about some mana pools now. They gain Pack Ambush. Yeah. Canis Light Mana pools can only include Legio Onyx Titans, so you have to use this one for Onyx. Nobody else gets it. Warhound Titans within this mana pool do not deploy as normal. Instead, at the start of the deployment phase, after arranging Titans into squadrons, the controlling player places a number of markers equal to the number of Warhound Titans in the mana pool. These markers can be placed anywhere in the battlefield, more than 6 inches from any enemy deployment zone. Titans from this mana pool count as deployed for the purpose of determining which player finished deploying first. When both players have finished deploying as normal, the Warhounds from this mana pool cannot be deployed anywhere within 3 of a Pack Ambush marker. Can be deployed anywhere within 3 of the marker. Any Warhound deployed in this manner outside the controlling player's deployment zone must be at least 50% obscured from any enemy units that have line of sight to the Warhound. If a Warhound cannot be placed within 3 of the Pack Ambush marker in this way, they must be deployed in the controlling player's deployment zone, following all the normal rules. So basically, you put down markers, your enemy deploys, and then you place all your Titans within 3 of that spot, and in cover. If a player has more than 1 Canis Light Mana Pool, each mana pool beyond the first gives 1 extra Pack Ambush marker. Pack Ambush markers are shared between mana pools. So, yeah, because you're probably going to have more than 1 mana pool, because like this is only... actually, it'd be about 1,500. They're usually about 300 each for a Warhound, if you give them good guns. And then we're into some stuff for the new Nemesis Warbringer. So, Warbringer Nemesis Titan. And this is the Arcus Battle Line mana pool. 1 Warbringer Nemesis Titan, 2 Warhounds, and an optional kit of 2 more Warhounds. They can coordinate and relay. Coordinate relay. Warbringer Nemesis Titan from this mana pool can attack enemy units indirectly if they do not have line of sight to that unit, as long as the target is within line of sight of a Warhound Titan from this mana pool. Firing indirectly in this manner, it confers a -2 to hit. In addition, an attack with a blast weapon from the Warbringer Nemesis that misses scatters D6 instead of D10 when the target's in line of sight of a Warhound from this mana pool, because they call in fire. So they fire for effect, which is pretty cool. The Ruptura Battle Line mana pool. So it's 2 Nemesis Warbringers and then up to 3 Reavers. 1 is compulsory. Artillery Bastion. Once per round, a Reaver Titan in this mana pool can declare a power to locomotives without pushing its reactor. In addition, when an enemy unit suffers catastrophic damage as a result of an attack made by a Warbringer Nemesis Titan from this mana pool, each Reaver Titan from this mana pool can immediately make a move as if it was the movement phase. A Reaver Titan cannot benefit from this ability if it's prevented from moving this turn, for example, from emergency repairs or mobilized damage. So basically the idea is that you're going to shell somebody and then do critical damage, and these guys run up and charge. The Mandatum Battle Line mana pool. It's 1 Warlord Titan, 2 Warhound Titans, and then optional components of 2 more Warhound Titans. They are Pack Masters. As long as the Warlord Titan from this mandible is in the battlefield, Warhound Titans from this mandible add 2 to the result of any command checks made when issuing orders. In addition, Warhound Titans from this mandible add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made against units within 12 of Warlord Titan from this mandible because they defend him. So they're all +1 hit if the enemy's within 12 of that guy. And then, yeah, he gets to add 2 to their command checks because he's their Pack Master General. So yeah, sorry, it was only two Warbringer Nemesis mandibles, not 3. And then we're into the Ordo Sinister, the Sinister Ministers of West, I don't know. So, like I said, the Emperor secretly orders, food to go from Mars and says, hey, I'd really like to have, 24 Warlord Titans. And they go, why? And he goes, because shut up, that's why. And then these mysterious weird Titans start showing up on the battlefield. They're never part of any Legio. They never get Legio rules. They're always support Titans. But they're just full of alpha level psychers being controlled by a pariah. It's pretty cool. So a reason to buy a cool, weird Warlord Titan. It's got its own cool, weird gun that you will have to at some point either convert or buy probably from Forge World. And I'm hoping Forge World does this kit sooner rather than later because I think this is just a cool idea to have the weird Psi Titans out in the battlefield. So players can include 1 or more Psi Titans in their battle group in open play. It's just deciding to take one. In match play and narrative play, the rules for Psi Titans in a battle group is a little bit more structured. They can include 1 or more Psi Titans with the following restriction. A Psi Titan is a support Titan, meaning a maximum of 1 Psi Titan can be included for every maniple in a battle group. Psi Titans cannot be included as part of a maniple to form squadrons with any other Titan unless otherwise stated. A battle group which contains 1 or more Psi Titans cannot include any corrupted Titans or traitor Titans of legend. So you can't use them with evil demon Titans, corrupted Titans, or traitor Titans of legend. Corrupted Titans, they mention. What could a corrupted Titan be? I don't know, but I really hope it's something like a Banelord. That would make me super happy if that's coming out soon. A battle group which contains 1 or more Psi Titans can include any Renegade or Corrupted Knight Banners. So, Renegade, obviously, but Knight Banners. So the idea here is that they're just fighting for the Emperor. A battle group which contains 1 or more Psi Titans cannot use Traitor Legion stratagems, or stratagems only usable by a Traitor player, so you can't use them in Traitor Legions. A player cannot declare that a Psi Titan is part of any particular Titan Legion, and thus a Psi Titan cannot gain any Legio-specific benefits. Because the idea here is, remember, all your Legios can be Loyalist or Traitor. The idea is that they never assign a tag to Legios because during the Horus Heresy, there was always some element that stayed loyal or element that went traitor. There was always a rogue faction basically everywhere. But these guys don't dick around with the warp stuff. They're not into it. They're not into chaos at all. They're made by the Emperor for the Emperor using Imperial nuts and bolts. So on the battlefield, a Psi Titan does not follow the issue order step as described on page 42 of the rulebook and cannot be given orders by any means. Psi Titans have access to a number of psych powers, which are determined in the Psi Titan's class. Psych powers follow the rules represented below. A Psi Titan can only ever use their own command value, regardless of any special rules. All units, friend or foe, within 10 subtract 1 from the result of any command checks, because you're near a pariah. Any corrupted Titans within 10 subtract 2 from any command checks. Instead, Psi Titans are not affected by this rule. And then psychic powers. Each Psi Titan has a Siricrux Anima, a psychic amplification matrix device conceived by the Emperor himself. It is to this blasphemous artifice the Titan's crew are bound, fed by psychers left slumbering until purpose calls. Controlled by the Preceptor Intendant and untouchable, immune to the powers, the Psi Titan harnesses their gifts on an unprecedented scale. So it's using alpha level psychers like batteries for all of its weapons. Each Psi Titan has access to psych powers. The nature of each is dependent on their class and size. Psych powers are channeled in the strategy phase. During the issue order step, during this step, a Psi Titan can be activated as normal. When a Psi Titan is activated in this step, the controlling player can choose either to channel psych power from the list available or issue the shutdown order, then make a command check. If successful, the order dice represent their psych power or orders placed in their command check, on their command terminal to see what they did. In addition, if the Psi Titan attempted to channel psychic power, then the check was failed. The Psi Titan suffers a psychic malfunction. During the end phase, all channeled psychic powers come to an end and are removed from the command terminal. They're not orders and are unaffected by rules that remove or affect orders, like Vox Blackout. If the strategy phase ends before a psychic power has been channeled, any Psi Titans may still channel psychic powers before the start of the next phase. So even if you don't issue, like if you fail to issue order and it ends your phase, you can still do a psychic power afterwards. Psychic malfunction. So if you failed the check, hey, a psychic malfunction occurs if you fail your command check while attempting to channel a psychic power. Make a command check for the Titan. Subtract 1 from the result if the Titan's head has suffered critical damage. In addition, subtract 1 from the result if the Titan is within 6 of a corrupted Titan. And they will be explored in a future supplement. Yes! Give me that pain, Lord! If the command check is successful, nothing happens. The Preceptor Intendant has managed to gain control of the wayward powers. If the check has failed, roll a d6 for the psychic manifestation table. So you make a second command check after you fail your command check for the psychic power, and you use those modifiers. If the check fails, roll a d6 in the psychic manifestation table. However, if the Titan's head has suffered critical damage or is within 6 of the corrupted Titan, roll a d10 instead. So it gets worse if you're near chaos stuff. So 1 or 2, preternatural stillness. Remove all orders from the Titan apart from corrupted Titans. Remove all orders from any Titan apart from corrupted Titans within 15 inches of the side Titan that have already been issued an order. For the remainder of the turn, all Titans within 15 other than corrupted Titans cannot be issued orders. He just like blanks the minds of everyone within 15. Psychic Overload, sorry. Good God. Add 1 to any dice roll made on the side Titan Psychic Manifestation table for the remainder of the battle. This effect is cumulative. This can be tracked with a d6 on the command terminal. So basically, you start to crack your matrix. Acquire the Damned. This Titan cannot be activated during the movement phase of this round or the strategy phase of the next round. Smallest of cracks, the Titan suffers critical damage to the head. This can result in catastrophic damage, so you could die. And then the Emperor's Mercy. For the remainder of the battle, the Titan cannot channel any psychic powers. In addition, any psi weapons it is armed with are disabled. If they're not already and cannot be repaired, place the order dice showing the split fire to denote this. So basically, the crew immediately has to kill all the psychers. there's like a failsafe that just like drives a bolt through their head because you know this has gotten too dangerous, and the Preceptor Intendant just goes derp. It kills all the psychers on board. I like that it doesn't kill you; it just does some damage and stuff, and you try and control them. It's pretty cool. And the Warlord Sinister. It's a thing that should not be a fusion of one of the mightiest god engines with a weaponized power of numerous bound alpha-grade psychers. Roused to anger, a Warlord Sinister is truly a terrible beast, able to project psychic phenomena on a truly gargantuan scale. It is armed with a Sinistramanus Tenebrae, literally the left hand of darkness. Each Warlord Sinister possesses such a weapon, more akin to a weaponized warp engine. It just shoots warps, a stream of the warp, and a beam weapon, and there's some new traits to go along with that. So any Warlord Titan can be upgraded to be a Warlord Sinister at the cost of 300 points, and it becomes a Psi Titan. It's automatically armed with a Sinistramus Tenebrae on its left arm and Auric Power Claw on its right arm. A Warlord Titan must purchase a carapace weapon, and can replace the right arm with any weapons available to Warlord at the appropriate cost. So you get those weapons for free as part of the 300 points, but then you have to buy a carapace weapon, and you can replace the power fist if you'd like. And you know all the following psychic powers. So Necrotetheca, if you channel it, make a repair roll for the unit, rolling a number of d6 equal to their servitor clades plus 1. Add 1 to the result of each dice roll. For every 5+ on any location that has no critical damage, you can repair a point of damage. So you repair your lost structure points. In addition to any other repair actions, disabled weapons with the psi trait cannot be repaired by Necrotetheca. If a unit that has channeled the Necrotetheca power is activated in the movement phase, it cannot be activated in the subsequent combat phase. So if you take any critical damage, you can't repair that location until it's repaired, basically, with a normal repair roll. But you can get your structure points back, which is pretty awesome. But it counts kind of like a one of the wars where you're a repair order, emergency repair order. So you can't move in the you can't either move or shoot. One of those things you have to give up. Death Pulse. When a unit has channeled Death Pulse activated during the movement phase, it cannot make move or make turns. Instead, resolve a weapon attack against every unit, friend or foe, within 8 using the following profile. 1 die, Strength X, Warp. Attacks made with Death Pulse automatically hit, no rolls needed. So everyone just gets hit by a single Warp hit, because you just start to mess with the minds of everyone nearby. Quickening. When a unit has channeled Quickening is activated during the movement phase, it can make a move. It can move a number of inches up to its boosted speed, can make a number of maneuvers equal to its boosted maneuver characteristic, and pick one of its weapons that does not have a psi trait to attack with. So if you do Quickening, and I would do Quickening every round, you're using all your boosted stats for that round without having to do any reactor pushes, and you get to make a free attack during the movement phase. That's amazing. It's a combination of like First Fire and Full Stride. forced fire and being able to still move and do stuff. It's pretty great. And then Antipathic Tempest. When you get this channel, Antipathic Tempest is activated during the movement phase. It cannot move or make turns. Instead, pick a point in the table the Titan can see. Resolve a weapon attack against any unit within 3 of that point using the following profile. Strength 8, 1 die, concussive, psi, quake. And they automatically hit. So everybody within, so like, again, a group of knights, just everyone takes a strength 8 hit. Concussive, psi, quake. It's a knight killer for sure. It even mess up little guys too, if their shields are down. And then Knight Houses. All right, so Knights during the Horus Heresy, lots of new Knight rules. House Orlac. Everybody's getting basically just 3 new knightly qualities. So these are your Seneschal or your High Scion can get one of these. So Shadow Fighter, during the duration of the first round, attacks made against the Seneschal's banner suffer -2 mod to hit. Indecipherable Commander. After both players have finished deploying their forces before rolling for the first player. Banners in the Seneschal's lance can be redeployed, following all the normal deployment rules. And then Independent Warrior. Banners in the Seneschal's lance do not have to maintain lance coherency, and as such, suffer no penalties for being outside lance coherency. However, during the strategy phase, any banner from the Seneschal's lance that does not maintain lance coherency cannot be issued orders via lance orders. So you can go to coherence, you just can't be given orders. House Vorn here. They are survivalists. Whenever a model from the Seneschal's banner would be destroyed due to weapon attack, roll a d6 on a 6+. The model is not removed and the effects of the hit are discarded. Whenever the Seneschal would be removed as a result of the targeted attack, the Seneschal is saved by the sacrifice of one of its knights on a 4+ instead of a 6. Unto Death. Whenever a model from the Seneschal's banner is destroyed, it may immediately make an attack with one of its weapons. If the model is destroyed due to a weapon attack that dealt more than 1 hit, resolve all these hits first before resolving any weapon attacks from destroyed knights. And then Figure of Legend. Friendly banners with at least 1 model within 3 of a model from the Seneschal's banner cannot be shaken. As personal trait cannot has no effect if the Seneschal's banner is shaken. So basically, as long as your Seneschal is not shaken, oh my god, what a tongue twister that was. As long as the Seneschal is not shaken, other knights within 3 can't be shaken. Oh jeez, she sells seashells by the seashore. The House of Veroni. They are independent spirits. If a banner with the Seneschal's lance fails a command check when an order is issued in the issue orders phase, the strategy phase, orders can still be issued that phase. Command checks must still be made for other banners. Any banner that fails a command check cannot subsequently be issued order via lance orders. When making a command check to see if they become shaken, for Resolute, all banners within 12 of the Seneschal add 1 to the result. In addition, the Seneschal's banner cannot be shaken. And then the Lord of Fellweather. The Seneschal may issue a charge order to banners within their lance without making a command check. However, a banner with the Seneschal's lance fails a command check when they are issued any other order. It does not act on its own initiative. Instead, it must act under charge orders. Everyone gains charge if they fail, which is funny. House Mordred. They have Ancestral Pride. In the first round of the game, the Seneschal's lance may choose to forgo its activation in the combat phase, in essence doing nothing in that phase, but counting as one of the House Mordred player's activations. If they do so, banners in the lance can be issued orders during the second round of the game without needing to make a command check. So you stand and take it for a round in the first turn, but then no need for a command check for your orders. Your Tapestry of Deeds. If the Seneschal's banner contains a battle standard, and the knight carrying the battle standard is part of the banner, friendly banners within 12 of the Seneschal's banner cannot be shaken. And then Aggression Unbound. When acting under charge orders during the movement phase, 1 knight per banner in the Seneschal's lance may add D3 to the dice value of a single weapon. Pretty cool for Lancers. House Malanax. They are elusive. If the Seneschal is destroyed, the player may choose a friendly banner in the same type of the Seneschal's banner to designate as the new Seneschal banner. 1 model of your choice becomes the new Seneschal, replacing Lord Scion or High Scion if one's present. The banner follows all the rules for a Seneschal's banner but has a knightly quality. Only the lance designated as the Seneschal's lance during the battle group selection counts for purposes of earning victory points. When choosing stratagems, the presence of the Seneschal does not add another stratagem point. So you're dead, but you're not dead, so you can still issue orders and stuff. Trusted Bearer. Knights within the Seneschal's banner may reroll any armor rolls of 1 for attacks they made with the weapon without the melee trait. However, they cannot be issued charge orders. And then Favored Scion. When the Seneschal's banner suffers a direct hit, roll a d6. On a 5 or 6, the hit's ignored. However, the Seneschal's banner does not add a 3 to the result of its command checks. So, you better at staying alive, but you don't add any command checks. And then House, oh god, I try and say this again. Airthen. air thin. Some of these things, when you say them out loud, oh my god. So your knightly qualities: Methodical Butcher. Knights in the Seneschal's banner may reroll armor rolls of 1 for attacks made with the melee weapon if they are issued a charge order. However, the Seneschal's banner cannot be issued coordinated strike orders. Bloodlust. The Seneschal may issue charge orders to banners within the lance without the need to make a command check. However, if a banner within the Seneschal's lance fails a command test when being issued with any other order, it does not act on its own initiative. Instead, it must act under charge orders. And then Furious Assault. For each hit roll of 6 made with the banner when attacking with a melee weapon, it causes 2 hits rather than 1. However, add 1 to the armor roll for the attacks made with melee weapons against the Seneschal's banner. So they're reckless, basically. So they hit with +1 damage when they get hit in melee, but they get +1. They get double hits, exploding 6s, basically. And then your narrative mission, the Crusade of Iron. It's basically representing House Praesidium going back on the offensive against the baddies. And campaigns, hooray! Organizing a campaign. You choose a legion, you choose an allegiance, and you choose a mission. And then at any point during the campaign, you could once change sides. You could go from being loyalist to traitor. After the battle, both players will work out their rewards depending upon the outcome of the game. These will be armory points, crew experience points, and honor points. If a player has active units in the battlefield at the end of the game, they may also salvage the battlefield. So ending the campaign, it's a good idea to have an endpoint. Yes, it is. Campaigns will tend to peter out without one. As a general rule, 4 to 6 weeks is a good length for a campaign. To work out the victor, you should tally up your honor points of the loyalists and the traitors. So out of the highest points, the winner. So honor points are your campaign points, basically, and then your crew experience and your armory points. Armory points you can use to repair titans. Honor or your experience points will make your crew smarter. So to represent the resources the Legion has, you create your campaign roster. When starting a campaign, players should decide an armory point total to create their starting campaign roster. 2,000 points is a pretty good level. They can be adjusted up and down depending on your collection. For the purpose of purchasing units, armory points are the points value available to a player and a unit or weapons point value equal to the number of armory points that it costs. And it's important to note that a player cannot spend if they need not spend all their armory points during the creation of the campaign roster, and any leftover points can be banked up for later on. Titan Legions are huge organizations, and the resources of a forge rolled behind them. So for instance, if a player starts with 2,000 points, they receive 400 points each game, regardless of the game. So you're always going to get some resources coming from home, and it's 20% of your starting point value. So if you're playing a 2,000 point starting roster, then you're going to get 20% of that back every round. So you're going to get 400 points to repair your stuff and make it better. The army points are awarded based on the amount of kind of territory plants. If the player's using a map-based one, it'll change, but if you're not playing map-based, then this is easier. So in map-based, your territories will earn you resources. In a non-map-based campaign, which is probably easier to run, you're going to get it with just a 20% value. Repairing Titans. After a campaign game, Titans and Knight banners are not automatically repaired and retain any damage they sustain. For each surviving Titan, at the start of the game, make a note of the position of the damage track status. I'd use cell phones. I just take pictures of each of them and Google Drive them or something like that. At any point before the next game, the player can repair damage by spending your armory points. Note that though a player does not need to repair any damage to Titan's head, body, or legs for them to be fielded again, the Titan begins the game with any critically damaged systems or lock structure points they previously sustained. Disabled weapons are automatically repaired between games, however. The weapons may also be changed using the retrofitting rules, so you can retrofit your guns and Titans and stuff. For each Knight banner, make a note of the remaining models, but not any other details. Damage to the individual models of the Knight banner is far easier to repair than damage into a Battle Titan, and so doesn't require any expenditure of armory points. Remaining models of Knight banner are repaired for free, while the destroyed models are simply lost as a result of catastrophic damage, probably salvaged to be repaired later on. Lost models from supporting units may be replaced as described with reinforcements. So you're going to buy armory points on reinforcements as well. So your repair table, for every point of critical damage, it's your scale times 3. So if you were scale 10, it would cost you 30 armory points to bring 1 pip of critical damage back. And then for every point of damage on your structure, it's scale times 2. So like a Warlord Titan would be 20 for every point of damage. And when you get 400, that means you're basically able, so let's say you had a destroyed Titan, like your Titan was just wrecked. You need to repair it. If it wasn't seized and scrapped, you're going to be paying some monies to get it back. Titans may be retrofit with their weapons between battles. Players can buy additional weapons systems for the Titan with armory points for the cost indicated and note them down. So you don't automatically just have access to swapping your guns. You have to put them in your armory, buy them, and then swap them out to retrofit them. And then before a game, you can choose which weapons they're able to keep. Reinforcements, players can buy the whole new models and replace units with their armory points as well to replace them in the campaign roster. Replacement models and units can be purchased using the armory points at the cost indicated in their command terminal. Models can be added back to a knight banner to replace losses, provided there's at least one model remaining in the banner. Knight banners reinforced in this way retain their veteran status. So as long as you don't go to dead on your knight banner, you can build it back up and keep your veteran level if you've earned experience. And then crew experience. Not all crews are the same. And a well-seasoned Titan crew can get far more out of their war machine. When buying a new unit during the course of a campaign, players should roll at the starting experience table to see what their level is. So on a 1 to 3, they're green, 4 to 5, they're tested, which is basic, and then 6, they're hardened. Each level of crew experience provides a number of rerolls. So if you are green, you get nothing. If you're tested, you get 1. And then if you are hardened, you get 2. And then you can also buy those new levels for experience points. So if you have 5 experience points, you become tested, 10 you become hardened, 15 you become veteran, 25 you become elite. And then gaining experience points after a game. If you survive, you get an experience point. If you destroy a Titan of scale 9 or higher, you get 3. Destroy a Titan of scale 7 or higher, you get 2. Destroy a Titan of scale 6 or less, you get 1. Knight banners do not gain experience points like Titan crews. Instead, as long as one model Knight banner survives the battle, they become veteran. And make a note of this. They can reroll a single dice for that banner for each game. And then crew survival. Even if a Titan is destroyed, a crew might survive. If they suffer silence, lay low, or wildfire on the catastrophic damage table, roll a die on a 2+, the crew escapes. By contrast, the devastating effects of Titan's reactor melting down and cooking off are very unlikely to have them survive. On a 4+, they escape, otherwise they're killed. Crews that survive can be reassigned to newly purchased Titans rather than relying on a starting crew experience table. So you just buy a Titan, you get that crew. And then gaining honor points. Legio is known for basically its deeds. So a win is worth 3. A win if the opponent was the underdog is worth 2. A loss if the player was the underdog gets 1. A loss if you opponent was the underdog is 0, and then a draw is worth 1. And then knight households for campaigns, choosing allegiances, creating a household force, yada yada. So you can play that in a campaign as well. And then there's your roster sheet for doing all this stuff. And knight commanders, salvaging the battlefields, reinforcements for the knights. At the end of the engagement between forces, there's wreckage everywhere. A knight household may also salvage friendly Titans, returning their valuable parts to their parent Legio. And friendly Titan, each friendly Titan that was destroyed during the game is worth 15% of its starting value in armory points. Weapons on a destroyed Titan may be salvaged as long as they weren't disabled when the Titan fell. These weapons are worth 50% of the starting value. If a knight household player was active, has active units in the battlefield at the end of the game, and an opponent does not, then enemy knight banners and Titans may be salvaged if they were friendly. However, due to the logistical difference between households and legios, when enemy knight banners or Titans salvaged, it's only worth 10% of its starting armory value. So basically, each friendly knight model that was destroyed gives you 20% of its starting value in armory points, and at the end of the engagement, you're basically scrapping what's available on the table. And I can't remember if you won or not. If a player commanding a knight household force activates. Oh, that's when knights do it. Sorry. Where's the scavenging for the Titans? Repairing Titans, reinforcements. No, they don't get to scavenge. Rewards, armory points, repairing Titans, reinforcements. You just get your reinforcements. Just they do. Huh. Interesting. If a player commanding a knight household force is activating units in the battlefield at the end of the game, they may scavenge the battlefield. It's just knight banners. Huh. Interesting. I thought the regular folks could too. Never mind. And then, yeah, the various rules for that. And then map campaigns, playing on pre-generated worlds, what kind of plan type you're playing on. And then what kind of resources, your armory points you get from holding different planets. And here we go. Okay, optional campaign rules. Because what I just described is basically just the old campaign rules. Here's the good puff. So you get your basic starting level again, and then your experience level benefits. If you are a tested, you get a reroll. Hardened, you get a Titan crew skill. Veteran, you get another reroll on top of your Titan's crew skill, and then elite, you get a Titan crew skill. So this is what I've been waiting for. And there's not a lot, but it's still worth doing. So you can get accurate. The Titan with this skill applies a +1 modifier to hit with all attacks made with weapons without the melee trait, so you're good at shooting. Expert Marksman, you don't suffer penalties for making a target attack. Brawler, adds 1 dice to the dice value of all weapons in the melee trait when they attack. Agile, they can make up to 2 turns before moving as part of a charge order instead of 1. Machine-born, a Titan with this skill adds 1 to repair rolls it makes during the damage control phase. Natural Leader, once per game during the end phase, you may choose who will be the first player for the next turn. If both players have this skill, they roll off as normal. Only 1 Titan per player can have this use this ability per game, no matter how many Titans have it. Vanguard Fighter, a Titan with this skill may be issued charge and full striders without a command check. Bombard Commander, Titan with this skill may be issued first fire, split fire without a command check. And then Titanic Duelist, apply a -1 modifier to all hit rolls for attacks made with against Titan with this skill by weapons with the melee trait, because he's good at defending himself. And then advanced rules for the planetary traits, night worlds and stuff. And then Titan upgrades. Oh, so cool. During a campaign, a player may purchase upgrades for their Titans during the campaign end phase using armory points. When an upgrade is purchased, make a note of it in the Titan. If a Titan has an upgrade, it's destroyed. The upgrade is destroyed along with it. Overcharge your weaponry. This can be chosen weapon. Goes up 5 points and multiplied by the dice values. Like a Vulcan Mega Bolter would have a cost of plus 30 points. The chosen weapon can either gain the maximal fire draining or shield bane draining traits, chosen by the controlling player. If the weapon already has either of these traits, it loses the draining trait, so you can take away the draining trait, which is awesome. Titan can carry multiple weapons with the advanced weaponry upgrade. Weapons with the advanced weaponry upgrade lose this upgrade if salvaged. So you can't steal this upgrade, basically, but you can upgrade your guns for the number of shots plus 5. Sorry, number of shots times 5. Reinforced cladding. When purchasing this upgrade, choose either the head, body, or legs of the Titan being upgraded. Any Titan will be upgraded with reinforced cladding for plus 5 points multiplied by half the total number of structure points, rounding up. So the head of Warlord Titan will be plus 20 points because it's 8 structure points. So 4 times 5 is 20. I'll apply a -1 to all armor rolls made for that location with reinforced cladding. A Titan can have multiple reinforced cladding upgrades, but each location can only be upgraded once. Thermosiphon Reactor. Any Titan can be upgraded with a Thermosiphon Reactor for plus 25 points. It does not roll in the Reactor Overload table when it's in the orange hole. In addition, the first time it vents plasma each round, the Titan can vent on a 3 instead of a 4. So you can spend your 3s, your first 3 to vent plasma. This upgrade has no effect if the Titan is suffering from reactor leak, critical damage. And then you get an enhanced MIU. You can take it for plus 20 points. A Titan with this upgrade may be issued any order without the need to make a command check. However, if no command check is taken, roll a d10. On a 1, the MIU overloads, and you take a critical point of damage to your head. So you have to take an order every round, you automatically pass. But if you don't, then on a 1, your head explodes. Automated repair failsafes. Any Titan with this can be upgraded to have automatic repair failsafes at a cost of plus 10 points. When purchasing the upgrade, choose either the head, body, legs of the Titan to take the upgrade. Once per battle, when this Titan is activated in any phase, it can initiate the failsafes. If it does so, it immediately regains D3 structure points lost in that location. That's pretty awesome. If any point before it activates, the failsafe takes a critical damage in a location with this upgrade, the upgrade is destroyed, so you can't use it for the rest of the battle. So you have to use it before you take critical damage. Titan can have multiple automatic failsafes, but each one can only be upgraded to a location once. Subconscious Overlay, plus 10 points. A Titan can be upgraded, has 1 additional experience point whenever it gains experience. However, subtract 1 from the result of all command checks. Subtract command checks, but you get plus 1 experience. So basically, you're using the minds of other princeps. Enhanced Automotives. Any Titan can be upgraded with Enhanced Automotives for plus 15 points. Titan with this increases movement and boosts movement by 2 to a maximum of 10. So a 6-inch/8-inch moving Warlord. Whew. If, however, during the battle he suffers critical damage to the legs, it's disabled. And then Tracking Arrays. Any Titan may be upgraded with Tracking Array for 15 points. Add 1 to the hit rolls for any attacks made by a weapon with this upgrade using weapons long range. However, at the end of the combat phase, in which Titan has made 1 or more weapon attacks, roll a d10. On a 1, it's overloaded. Titan immediately takes a point of critical damage to the head for the remainder of the battle, and it has no effect. And then more battlefield rules. Rules for the Ursus Claw. So 8-inch range. And then long 12, 1 die, strength 3, but it's impale and specialized, and the impale roll will be over on the other side here. It's pretty cool. And the Natrix Shock Lance was a variation of the Ursus Claw. It's bypass, specialized, shock, draining, and it's a 6-inch, 10-inch range, plus 1 hit 6 inches, and strength 4. And then the Cinemastrus Tenebrae. It's beam 1, psi, taxing, and then it's dice. So it's short range 30, long range 120, and then is dice 3, strength 10. And it's psi and taxing, which is pretty cool. So when resolving an attack with a side weapon, any hits that are caused bypass void shields, and they can be affected by special rules. In addition, when resolving an attack with a side weapon against a corrupted titan, increases strength by 2. So ignores shields, strength 10. Beam is draw a straight line, and everything touched by the line takes number of hits, but everything after that is reduced the hits by 1. So beam bracket means the first thing it touches takes 3 hits, the second takes 2, the last takes 1, the next one would take 0. And then it's taxing, which means after resolving the effective attack with a taxing weapon, roll a reactor die for the Titan and apply the result as normal. If it shows a machine spirit symbol, the machine spirit is not awakened, instead roll in the psych manifestations table because something bad happens. For the Ursus Claw, it's impale. After resolving an attack with an impale weapon against Titan, do not make an armor roll. Instead, roll a d6. If the attack hits, add the strength of the weapon. If resolving an attack made with an impale weapon as part of a coordinated strike, resolve the attack for all contributing Titans first, making note of how many attacks the impale weapon successfully hit. Then roll a d6, adding the strength value of all the impale weapon, using the highest strength value of all contributing weapons. Add 1 to the modifier for each impale weapon beyond the first. If the total is equal to the target's unit scale, roll a d6. On a 1 to 3, it turns 90 to the right. On a 4 to 6, 90 to the left. If the total roll is higher than their scale, the target unit turns as described above and then immediately suffers d3 plus 1 devastating hits to its legs. If the target unit does not suffers catastrophic damage as a result of this attack, do not roll on the catastrophic table. Instead, it's automatically laid low. So you straight up Luke Skywalker snowspeeder around the legs of a Titan and like drag it down. If total roll is lower than the unit scale or a natural 1 is rolled, each unit contributing to the attack immediately suffers a devastating hit to their legs and a strength 7 hit against any impale weapons that successfully hit as part of the coordinated strike. So the Titan just rips you around. And they automatically bypass void shields, which is pretty cool. And then shock, if an attack with a shock weapon causes a direct or devastating or critical hit to a Titan, roll a die on a 4+. They immediately get the shutdown order, but it goes away at the end of the phase. Any shutdown orders received from a shock weapon go to the end of the phase. So you don't actually shut the Titan down, but it behaves for the rest of the turn as if it was shut down, which is kind of cool because you go bzzz and shock it. And then new strats. So you've got some warp trickery stratagems. So these are all available to chaos players. And yeah, desperate measure stratagems and then tactical support stratagems. And I'm not going to go through all of these, but they're pretty cool. And there should be a deck for these available soon. And there we go, Shadow and Iron. The latest supplement for Titanicus. Pretty cool. I didn't get to see the Nemesis Warbringer stats, obviously, because we don't have the card and don't have the model here. But cool that it gets at least 2 mana pools it can start off in. You might see new one in White Dwarf. They sometimes do that for the new stuff, too. And then we're looking at a whole bunch of cool new campaign rules, which I'm stoked. If you haven't watched it up here, you can see my review of the new starter set. I'm going to give Owen all the new starter set miniatures that came in there, and hopefully we'll be able to play a campaign relatively soon, because I'd be jazzed to do that and play through some, maybe like a 5 or 6 game campaign, just throwing down with some loyalists against some traitors. Maybe I'll make a side Titan. That'll be my next thing I'll do. I'll try an Ordo Sinister side Titan, one of the Warlord Sinister or whatever it is. Serio, I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, you can go up in the cards and check out the review of the box set if you haven't watched it already. Until next time, I'm Ash. Have a great day. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to support the channel, of course, like and subscribe and hit the little bell below so you get notifications when I post future content. I do post stuff 7 days a week. If you want to support the channel further, you can, of course, buy a t-shirt through Spreadshirts, buy a measuring gauge or objective markers from Death Ray Designs, or, of course, most importantly, there is Patreon. Patreon is what makes all this possible, keeps the lights on, pays for the studio costs, pays for the equipment, model costs, and everything else, and most importantly, puts food in my kids' bellies and a roof over their heads. Big thanks to everyone, past, future, who supported me. I do this stuff because of you guys, and of course, I will continue doing it as long as I can.